Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the Filipino New Year. It's this incredible night of spectacular joy, but it also has a flip side, one that for hundreds of people ends in tragedy.
All right, let's really get into it. I want you to picture this for a second. You've got these huge street parties. We're talking A-list celebs performing totally free concerts, and the whole sky is just exploding with color. See, New Year's Eve in the Philippines, it's not just some party. No, it's this massive national spectacle, just pure, raw energy.
But there's another side to this story, a much darker one. Because when all that smoke finally clears on January 1st, this number right here, well, it tells a completely different story. And that's really the heart of the conflict we're talking about today. This amazing, joyous celebration that for some comes with a really heavy and often painful price.
So, to really wrap our heads around this conflict, first, you gotta understand just how massive this party is. I mean, all across the country, welcoming the New Year is this huge communal thing.
I mean, just look at this lineup. You've got the biggest names in Filipino music. We're talking P-pop, classic OPM rock, living legends, and they're even bringing in international acts like K-pop groups. And the best part, it's all free. Entire cities basically shut down their main streets and turn them into these giant concert venues. You get hundreds of thousands of people showing up for parties that go well into the early morning. And this quote, it just perfectly captures the dedication of the crowd. Seriously, people aren't just walking over from the next block. They're flying in from other countries. They're on buses for hours, coming from other provinces. Some even show up super early in the morning just to get a good spot. It really shows you just how important this one night is to so many people. Okay, so you've got the huge public parties, right? But if you step away from those massive stages, you'll find the real heart of the celebration, and that's in the home. This is where the night is filled with all these fascinating traditions, and they're all about one thing, bringing in good fortune for the year ahead. And these rituals, they are everything. The whole idea is that what you do right at the stroke of midnight can literally set the tone for your whole year. So you'll see people wearing polka dots, the circles look like coins, right, for wealth. Kids will be jumping as high as they can, hoping it'll make them grow taller. And everyone is making as much noise as they possibly can. Not just with fireworks, but with car horns, banging on pots and pans, anything to drive away those evil spirits and bad luck. And right at the center of all these home traditions, you have the medianoche. Now, this is so much more than just a midnight snack. It's a huge feast, and it's absolutely drenched in symbolism. Every single dish on that table has a meaning. You've got sticky rice, which is supposed to help the family stick together, long noodles for a long life. It's this beautiful moment of gratitude, being together, and just hoping for a good year. And what's so cool is seeing how these traditions, which are centuries old, are still evolving. People are actually taking modern trends like Pantone's Color of the Year and mixing them right into their lucky outfits. So you have this blend of traditional wishes for money and luck, right alongside a very modern desire for things like clarity and calm. It's pretty fascinating. But then the party ends. The jumping stops, the feast is over, and the story takes a really sharp, dramatic turn. Because as the sun comes up on January 1st, the real cost of all that loud, explosive celebration starts to become tragically clear. So the official numbers start to trickle in from different government agencies. First, you get an initial count from the Department of Health, and they'll tell you straight up they expect that number to climb once all the reports are in. Then the National Police releases their tally from just the peak hours of the party. But, no matter which set of numbers you look at, the story is the same, and it's a grim one. Hundreds and hundreds of people getting hurt. And this is so important to remember. These aren't just numbers on a chart, right? These are real people, and these are devastating, sometimes life-changing injuries. We're talking about little kids with burns on their faces, people who lose their sight from something as simple as a sparkler. And believe it or not, even people getting hit by stray bullets that were just fired up into the air. And the danger isn't just to people, it's to property too. When you hear this resident say, it was strong, really strong, they're talking about an explosion from a single, powerful, and likely illegal firecracker. An explosion that was strong enough to damage houses, a motorcycle, a bike. The power packed into some of these things is just, honestly, it's terrifying. So this all brings us to the core question, the big dilemma that the country faces year after year. How do you hold on to the powerful, joyful spirit of these traditions, while at the same time you're trying to reduce the very real danger that comes along with them? And that call for change? It's coming from the very top. In his New Year's message, President Marcos Jr. basically asked everyone to shift their perspective, to think less about just their own personal celebration and more about how our choices affect everyone around us. It's really a call for more empathy, for a sense of shared responsibility.
And it seems like the best path forward is starting to become pretty clear. It's this idea of shifting away from everyone setting off their own high-risk, unpredictable fireworks and moving toward these big, professionally run community fireworks shows, the kind everyone can go to and enjoy safely. And hey, we've already got proof that this approach can actually work. Take Pasig City, for example. The local government there decided not to give out special permits to sell firecrackers. And the result? One of their lowest injury counts in years. It's a perfect example of how a simple policy change can make a huge, life-saving difference. So, in the end, we're left with this really fascinating cultural balancing act. The Filipino New Year is, without a doubt, this beautiful, profound expression of hope, of family, of community. The real challenge now is figuring out how to carry that amazing spirit forward, how to find new, safer ways to make all that noise, to light up the sky, and to welcome a prosperous new year together.